Hi, my name is Kristen Atwan, and I am in my fourth year of being a communication studies major. With that, I have really learned a lot about the communication department, and with a major that is so broad, it can mean so many different things, and you can go in so many different directions with it. And I think it is so underrated, and it's time to bring it out into the light and to inform people about what a comm student really does and what we learn, and so that's what I'd like to do with you today. So to start, defining the comm major. Well, first of all, when I was coming into my 4 years of college and was thinking about what to major in, my brother was actually a communication studies major, and so I got to see from his experience what he had learned and how he was getting to apply that to internships and real life coming up, and so I figured I'd take a stab at it. So I decided to go in as a communication major and haven't looked back, so it obviously has been paying off for me. So when I think about what a comm major does and what we learn, I like to think of it as a mashup of two other majors. I think of comm as when psychology and business come together. And obviously psych and business are very different majors, and so that is definitely two different worlds. And how comm brings those together is in the following ways. So with psychology, you have classes where you focus on the human brain and not only physically what goes on in there, but also interactions and how that affects us down the road, and how it works in life. And so that is definitely a big part of the communication major, but I think the other major part of that is the business side of it. In the comm major, we take classes such as public relations, and a little bit of marketing is thrown in there, and so it really is both sides of these majors and brings out the best sides of those into one place, which I love most about it. And I think that that is so beneficial not only in business but also in life. And I think as a comm major, I have learned so much about how to interact with others, how to operate in my own relationships, whether that's family, romantic, friendships, whatever it may be. Being a comm major has taught me so much about others and how to best support and interact with others. So next I want to talk about the practicality of being a communication studies major. As I said before, communication is so broad, and every single person communicates, whether it's verbally, non-verbally, however it may be, every single person communicates. And so learning what that looks like on a whole nother level is super important. Now that I am a senior and just graduating so soon, I have been in a few job interviews and have been asked the question, what does it mean to be a comm major? And so I want to inform you of the practicality of being a comm major and how it relates to positions that you may want to apply for. So I've applied for positions in marketing, in public relations, in community relations, and a whole bunch of other departments that can all resort back to comm and what I've learned as a communication major. First of all, what I tell when they ask about what I learned as a communication student, one thing I like to say is the classes that I've taken and how that relates to the position. So public relations is a course you take as a comm major. In PR, I had no idea what PR was before I took the class. I took the class and fell in love with it, and that's really why I hope to be in PR one day. And so learning how to best sell a company, a product, whatever that looks like, and to do it from a wholesome way and a way that is not deceiving in any way but is honest and really accomplishes what you're trying to accomplish. I think that is something that is so practical that comes out of specifically the PR class. In conflict management, that is something that can be, I think every APU student should take and every college student should take, because that is a class where you learn how to deal with difficult situations, and as people we all deal with conflict differently, and so if you deal with conflict one way and you have to work with the person who deals with conflict in another way, that class really taught me how to bring those two different types of people together and solve that conflict as best as possible. And then also, if you go into customer service, you are able to use what you learned in conflict management and turn that into the best situation possible, and make sure the customer leaves happy and satisfied with what you did and hopefully comes back again. And so that is definitely another class that is so practical and has helped me in answers for job interviews and eventually get jobs that do involve customer service, because that's always an aspect of this marketing and public relations side, because people will be calling you and complaining, and it's so helpful to be able to use those skills. So to wrap things up, I hope this was informative for you and that you got to learn a little bit more about what communication students study and how we operate, and why the life of a comm major is just the best life to choose. So I hope you do end up choosing the communication major, and good luck in that. Thanks.